David Kampf, back on a 4-year deal. We can start there. $2.4 million. Your impressions?
Yeah, I like Kampf, man. He was solid. I think he's kind of an unsung guy. Doesn't get too much credit, but man, he's clean, he's solid, he's reliable. There was times there in the season where, you know, he chips in and gets a few big goals and whatnot, but like never was a big mistake or a bad goal or a late period goal or a bad giveaway at a bad time ever on Kampf's stick. He seemed solid and reliable. You know, the number seems high to me because when I was playing, like a $7 million guy was like Dion and Phil and that type of thing. And now I'm like a fourth line center gets 2.4. Like, what's going, but that's just the reality of the world. And the cap is high and nobody was making 14 mil back then. And it just is what it is. It seems high, but I really don't think it is. And, you know, he's pretty solid. It's just not a game changer. Him and Holmberg, they're just kind of, you know, you need a good, solid, reliable fourth line center. I want to surround him with some physicality, with some energy, not just a guy that goes out there and asks guys to fight, a guy that can skate, that moves his bloody legs and bangs and crashes and brings, I keep saying that Darcy Tucker element where you're just got crazy eyes going around, just running around, hammering guys, and just, holy shit, is that contagious on the bench? I want that on the Leafs because when they spin their wheels and they don't have it going, and Marner and Matthews and Nylander can't seem to get one, and they're not penetrating. It's just not going their way. And it's just like, then they have nothing. They have nothing. And there's nothing to do. And usually you can get your fourth line out there to go crash and bang and kind of hit the little reset button on the bench. And okay, boys, let's fucking, you know, we're rolling now. They're scrambling going, what the hell just happened? We just got ran through the boards and turnover city. And now everyone's worried about getting hit, especially this day and age, all these kids playing that have never been hit before. Like, let's get a little bit of that going. I would love to see that. So I'm more concerned about that than getting Kampf, but I had absolutely no qualms with him this year. I actually thought he was quite unhailed as far as what he provided. So it's good to have him back.
So I have a couple takes on David Kampf specifically. And
let's hear them.
Right away, when the tweet came out, I believe it was Frank Saravalli that had the report, David Kampf 4-year extension with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, he's vastly overpaid. I can't believe they did that. Kyle Dubas never would have done that. I think first and foremost, like you highlighted it, he's reliable, dependable, kills penalties, key face-offs. Like, he does a lot of the little things. And, you know, having played in this league, how integral it is to have players like that. The other thing was the cap hit. Okay, $2.4 million. I think the important to stress here, Rosie, is the fact that the cap is expected to go up significantly starting next summer. And I think a couple of years down the road, maybe year 2 or 3 of this deal, it's not going to look as crazy. Is it a bit much, a bit rich right now for a guy like David Kampf, who's pretty much a fourth liner? Yes. But I do think he brings a lot of the intangibles that you need on a roster. And the other thing too, so like, let's say you don't bring David Kampf back. There's people who are really high on Pontus Holmberg, and Holmberg, I think, will crack this roster next season. We'll have a good shot, at least in training camp. But people are like, why don't they just replace him with Holmberg? But I think you look at the body of work of a David Kampf, like, he's an established NHL player. I didn't have any issue with the deal. I know people are going to bitch and complain about a cap hit, but at the end of the day, it's $2.4 million. I think you have bigger problems knowing you have 4 players making $1 billion combined. Close enough.